Hello and good morning, my friends, and welcome to Digging the Course 365, day something. I think it's day 37, I guess. No digging today, no digging. There is just nowhere, there isn't a beach. There isn't a beach here. So I've brought you to a museum. It's called the Combined Military Something Museum. It's basically full of guns, tanks and cool things. I don't think photography is allowed. So let me take you inside and show you around with my camera. Okay guys, I've got some good news for you. We are allowed to film in here. And I've not seen anything yet, but what an amazing collection it sounds like. Look at these just to start with. Roman spearheads. Apparently there's a collection of over 1,000 guns further up in the museum. And all this is owned by one guy. It's his own private collection. Look at the condition of that gun, 1627. Now I've shown you these before. Brass monkeys, and I'll just explain it again. They had these on the ships, and when it got really cold, the cannonballs would roll off. I wasn't aware until I got here that there was a battle here when the Vikings came over in the year 990, and there is a Viking sword. Look at the condition of that. I believe that was, I think he said that was found here about 200 yards from where we're standing now. And this sword here, if you remember the other day, I found that silver hammered coin. That is from that time. 1375. I've come straight upstairs to show you the firearms. First I'll just look at these. I think he said there's over 1,000 guns in here. All different dates, all different sizes. Unbelievable. And I can't wait to have a closer look and see if they've got some of the ones which I've found. And they're new to me as well, toffee apple bombs. Used in the First World War. You can see them in that picture there. Stored ready to be used in a trench. Now the other day everyone was picking on me because I said that's a Sten gun in the cupboard, and the sign clearly said it was a Sten gun. It turned out it wasn't a Sten gun. The museum got it wrong, it wasn't me. But there's a Sten gun for you, look. All the different, see here, Mark 1, Mark 1 with an asterisk, Mark 2, all the different ones. Mark 2, Mark 2, Mark 5. Unbelievable. AR-18. I fired an AR-15, remember, in America. This is the first time I've ever seen one of these. I've heard about them, but to actually see one, this is fantastic. In World War II, in the Normandy landings, they sent off 400 of these, dummies basically, to fool the Germans, to make them think that there were 400 men landing. And it was used as a diversion, I believe. You can read about it there. That's really interesting to actually see one. There's way too many revolvers for me to show you. There really is. I'll just show you a selection. Like this one's caught my eye. An English 6-barrel pepper box revolver. That's silver, is that bit in the middle there. All these seem to be dating from, I don't know, 1800 in the top corner there, to World War I. Webley Mark 5. That's from World War I. Or is it Webley? Webley. A Mauser. So that's a cutlass from 1850. And it's the first time I've seen a cutlass, but when I worked in a garden centre we sold a product called Cutlass and it'd kill any weed. These are all the guns for, well, soft people really. They're like really tiny little girl guns. And then you move into the next one and they're getting really hard. Look at some of these. They're all Webleys, all different models. In fact, every single one of these is a Webley. It really is. Every gun in there is a Webley. Never heard of a Webley. I've never seen these before either. These are called dead drops. These coins, that is the first one ever made. Right there. And they used to be hollow, and inside they would put microdots of poison. How amazing. And they were a bit worried, I think it says there, you can read that. I think they were a bit worried that they'd get them mixed up with real coins. So they made them double heads or double tails so they could tell the difference. We all know about Lugers. These are the early ones. World War I. A very rare silenced Luger. This weapon was prepared for Operation Foxley, an attempt to assassinate Adolf Hitler. Wow. They were going to try and assassinate Hitler with that exact gun. I'm just looking through some uniforms now. Now none of these are replicas, they're all original. That's from the Crimean War, 1854. This one looks old, how old's that? 1854 again. 1835. Look at the condition. I've never seen a gun like that before. A Mauser with a shoulder butt or whatever you call them on it. How cool. And that there is called an escape coin. See the little hook on there? Little blade. So that if you get captured, you could cut yourself free. Really clever. And there's more escape coins from 1961. Colt New Army Model 1906. Smith & Wesson 1906. Colt. Smith & Wesson. Black Hawk Magnum. Hello. Now that is an Ingram Mach 10. Americans designed this and it is probably the fastest firing submachine gun ever made. It could spit out 1,100 rounds per minute. It's used sometimes by special forces, but it is now a favourite amongst criminals. Surprise, surprise. I know that because it says so on a sign right there. That's a beautiful bike there. Mark II Series 3 from 1943. A well bike. Very low. Very low. Now, is there anybody watching who would like to see a lady's muff? What? There's a lady's muff pistol from 1880. Tiny little thing. That is about 3 inches long. It's tiny. It's about the same length as my finger. A lady's muff. Look at all them grenades. Every grenade you could ever think of. The one gun I am keeping my eyes open for is the one I found in Germany, which I was told was a rare Belgian gun from the 1860s. Now that's a Belgian gun from the 1860s with the same shaped hexagonal barrel on it there. I can't remember exactly what mine looked like. A few more ladies' muffs there. I know you like to see them. Look at the size of these down here. Lilliput pistol, 1925. That one's from the Battle of Somme. MK1 practice grenade. 1700s ball grenade. Look at these. It's amazing how there's so many different designs of them. You'd think if one worked, why didn't they just stick to the same one? And these here are just beautiful. I've never seen a design like this before. And that one is 1804. That's possibly the oldest I think I've ever seen. And you've got all these flare pistols here. World War I, World War II, 1894. And look at this combination pistol, knuckle duster and a gun, from the late 1800s. Found quite a few of these fuses in Germany, similar to that one. It took me quite a few years to work out what they were as well. That's another lady's muff. Now that's fascinating, that belt there. You see all the different things on there? They're the badges of men from all the different regiments that I met during World War I. He'd take one off them as a souvenir and put it on his belt. Nice collection of shotguns here from the 1875 onwards. Shooting rifles, there's something of everything in here. We even have torpedoes. An amazing collection in here, it really is. Okay, you've got an M1 Garand there. I fired one of them in America, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I shot that many, I can't remember what any of them looked like. There's the AR-15 which I shot. In fact, the one I shot was more... you know, you have different designs. I think mine was... I don't know. They're very interesting. Can you remember I showed you a Kosh? Oh, it must have been about 30 days ago now. I didn't even know what a Kosh was. And I saw one and it was a policeman's Kosh. Well, this is the Navy's version from the about 1800. Now these are the kind of guns that the anti-terrorist soldiers and SAS would use. There's actually a picture of one here. That gun there, I've just shown you that. Here you have a Zeppelin which was shot down. Read about it there, and here's some fragments from it. From what I've just been, well, that's from an airship from 1916. That's Zeppelin L-32. I don't know which. That's that one. So that's from that crash site, and it says there that people were coming to try and get souvenirs of the Zeppelin. And the farmer wasn't very happy. Got a Lee Enfield Mark III there, Australian. That is a beast and a half. All Lee Enfields, these. We even have a drum there. A boy drummer's drum from the Napoleonic War. Unbelievable. So these guns here were used during the Boer War, 1899 to 1902. And this, you can see a picture of a typical picture of a commando from then holding the guns. Now this is one of the most interesting things I like to watch on documentaries about the Iranian embassy siege. This is how they would be dressed and all the equipment they used. If you don't know anything about the Iranian embassy siege, if you're too young, I suggest you Google it. Look it up on YouTube, it's a fascinating story. A great big pile of Mausers, and then you've got all these bayonets here. German, Czechoslovakian, Turkish, French. I'm trying to work out what that would be used for. 22 caliber humane killer. It doesn't look very humane. I'd just like to thank John as well whilst I'm doing this, because I'm in the area where all the shells are here. And John collects them, and he gave me something, I'd say about that size, yesterday. In perfect condition. It's, you know, it's as clean as them brass ones in the back. So thank you very much, John. It's the first one I've had, first one I've got. There you have a Thompson submachine gun, 1928 model, and that was held, as you can see there, by Winston Churchill, and my stepfather's granddad, I think it was Winston Churchill's bodyguard. There's a little fact for you. Found lots of bits of them in the past. The Mosin Nagant. In fact, I think I fired one of them in America. PPSH-41. Now it was the PPSH-43 that I found. There you have a propeller from a Mustang found in a field from World War II. That's a wing off a drone from 1940 to 1958. Again found not too far from here. And various other bits. They're from a Spitfire from the Battle of Britain. Here's some guns used by the terrorists. And this particular AK-47's there. And this one here is a homemade machine gun which they took. It was captured from the IRA in Northern Ireland. And it's basically a badly adapted Sten gun turned into a submachine gun. And there you have a keyring Romanian assassination weapon. That's a slightly somber sight. That was worn by one of the bombers which got shot down. One of his boots. Now it's showing you all the bullets which they fire. Moving over here, I used to try and explain this in Germany. The white tip ones are tracers, blue are incendiary, red are tracers. I don't think I've ever seen such a large collection of guns and such a wide range of the same gun. You've got like here a Vickers Mark 1, a Mark 1 medium, a 1918 Vickers Mark 1 medium. They're all different varieties, different ages of Vickers, and then you've got the Brownings at the front here. I've never seen them before. Robbins and Dudley push knife. Can you imagine, they're quite effective. There's some round here, look. Quite scary really, because you wouldn't really see anyone coming with that. Now, you've got some fascinating things here. I'm not sure who these people are. They're saying this guy, what's he called? Peter and Prue Mason, basically they were spies, and this is who the James Bond could have been written about, because he is so James Bondish, as you'll find out from the things I'm about to show you. There's also a woman spy who they keep going on about in here called Zoe. Telling you about the uniforms they wore. She actually wore that. Now this is something used by Zoe in the 1960s. It's a lipstick which is actually a gun. Up here, Zoe's Chernobyl nesting guns. Nesting dolls, and inside there is some film for a camera which they could sneak out. Peter Mason's cigarette, that's a gun in a cigarette box. A suicide cartridge there. Tiny little cartridge, fill it with cyanide powder. This is fascinating. That is the original James Bond silencer from the movie. There's guns in the shape of pipes. Got blow darts. This is proper spy stuff, is this? This is amazing. And then you've got the cameras as watches. One the size of a lighter there. Some cigarettes, which are actually a camera. I think it's amazing that that is still in that kind of condition. Look at that. That is from the English Civil War from about 1635. Absolutely unbelievable. And these are tiny little arrows which were designed to pierce through armour. The longbow men would fire these over the heads of the troops. And that one was found not far from here. Huge collection of armoured helmets here, going back to that's 1505. But I want to show you one down here. Look at that, the Totenkopf helmet, 1620. Death said it's from Germany. It was designed to startle the enemy by its appearance. Looks like the Tin Man off Wizard of Oz. The age and condition of some of these is incredible. That's a powder flask from 1600. You've got a crossbow here from 1550. Look at the condition and the ivory on the top of there. And then you've got an English Civil War Royalist marching gun from 1645. I've not seen these before either. Maces. Now I've seen similar like things to this before, but not that style there. That's from 1600. Basically just used to whack the people over the head. And sometimes it would even pierce the armour, I believe. You've got a picture there, look. That's from a skull excavated in a battle from 1461. That's obviously been hit by, does it say? Oh, it was a warhammer. A warhammer, probably something like this. And this is a morning star from 1550. I think my ex-girlfriend had one of them next to her bed. And no museum tour, military museum tour is complete without a tank. There you've got a chieftain. That's one they used in Iraq. You've got a personnel carrier there. And over here you've got a Thunderbird SAM missile, which was basically aimed at Russia in case during the Cold War. So that, guys, is your tour. I really hope you enjoyed that. I did. This isn't a funny video by any means, and it's not digging on the coast, but it's a very fascinating video if you're into that kind of thing. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow, and hopefully I can find somewhere to dig tomorrow. I'm not convinced I will. It's all mud flats around here, but I'm still searching. I'll be doing some research later on today and see if I can find somewhere to dig tomorrow. The 2 days after that I'm in a field with 2 other YouTubers, so that should be fun. Can't wait for that. See you all very soon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye on Digging the Coast 365.